Palestine Action is a terrorist organisation. I've met them, and I've met a couple of the mothers of the young women who are actually imprisoned at the moment. One of them was about to start university, another was in her first year. They've been inside now in remand for 12 months. Well, they will have been in prison for at least 15 months before they're even tried. I sent books into them because they're trying to continue their studies, and the books were blocked. This is the treatment that's being meted out to them. We've said to ministers, look, many of us have been on protest, many of us have been in occupations, and yes, we've broken the law. So what you do, you use the existing law. When I go on a demonstration or take action, I work on the basis, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. And we've got used to that over the years. And let me finish, because shouting down people is what they do on the benches in the House of Commons. Let me make this absolutely clear. This prescription order has now gone to the House of Lords, and if it comes back, it will be signed into law at midnight. So I ask a simple question. If tomorrow I say I don't support this prescription, does that mean I'm open to prosecution, and the charge and the prosecution could result in up to 14 years in prison? What will happen? And there was no answer. This is shameful. In our history, there's been a history of civil disobedience. But, oh, shut up and let me speak. This is a history. I don't usually get that angry, but I've come out from a very angry atmosphere shouting at ministers, because if we have a history in this country of civil disobedience, we would not have the democracy we have now if it wasn't. For example, the suffragettes taking direct action, yes, causing criminal damage, and the Chartists and right movement after movement. So this isn't just an attack on Palestine Action, it's an attack on all of us, and it's an attack on democracy overall. But also I want to give them this message: we will stand up to democracy, but we're not going away when it comes to solidarity with the Palestinian people. We will be back in many forms, in demonstration after demonstration, until the genocide is ended. Solidarity.
Hear, hear! Hear, hear!
1, 2, 3, 4! 5, 6, 7, 8! 1, 2, 3, 4! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israelism!
Terrorist state!
Israelism!
Terrorist state!
Israelism!
Terrorist state!
Israelism!
Terrorist state!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terrorist state!
Israelism! Israelism!
Terrorist state!
Now our next speaker has been a relentless voice for the Palestinian people in Parliament, bravely holding our government to account for their complicity in the worst atrocity of our lifetime. Please make some noise for the MP for Coventry South, Zara Sultana! Like John, I've just come back from the vote where Palestine Action has been disgracefully proscribed after being lumped with neo-Nazi paramilitary groups. The Home Secretary couldn't even be bothered to turn up. Yvette Cooper, shame on you!
Shame on you!
David Lange, shame on you!
Shame on you!
Keir Starmer, shame on you! They don't turn up because they know that this is an attack on our rights and they can't even defend it. This is a dark day, but we are not afraid and we are not alone. truth that Palestine Action is being labelled as a terrorist organisation, not because they've committed violence against people, but for daring to expose the truth that the arms dealers in this country are fueling the genocide in Gaza with the support of the British government. That's what they have exposed. Instead of prosecuting actual terrorists and actual war criminals, the government wants to criminalise those trying to stop a genocide. They are trying to criminalise solidarity. They are trying to criminalise conscience, and we won't let them. We know that if this prescription goes through, people could face 14 years for simply being here in support of Palestine Action. I could go to jail, everyone here could go to jail for wearing a badge, sharing a post, or calling for de-proscription. It's about fear. It's about silencing this beautiful, international, diverse movement that we have built, that has been marching month after month in our millions. We are all Palestinian, in our hundreds, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians.
And let me be clear, we are not going anywhere. We are going to use every tool we have in Parliament, in the courts, in the streets, in our workplaces to fight back. And we need to remember that this order can still be withdrawn. This government is known for making U-turns, so we need to ramp up the pressure. The courts haven't ruled on it yet, and the legal challenge is still live. This government ruling it through, it is a page out of the Trump playbook. It is authoritarian, plain and simple. And we have to ask every single MP, which side are you on? I'm going to quickly name every single MP that voted against this, because I think you should know who they are. So these are the MPs who voted against prescribing Palestine Action. Ayub Khan, Bel Rabiro Adi, Sean Berry, Ellie Childs, Carla Denia, Adrian Ramsey, Shokat Adam, Oksana Begum, Jeremy Corbyn, Adnan Hussein, John McDonnell, Diane Abbott, Tahir Ali, Richard Bergen, Ian Byrne, Imran Hussein, Kim Gunton, Clive Lewis, Graham Morris, Nadia Whittam, Andrew George, Tom Gordon, Tessa Munt, Manuela Portugella, Al Pinkerton, Luke Taylor and Colin Eastwood. Only 26, I believe. Only 26. Only 26. So I know where I stand. I stand with Palestine Action. I stand with the Palestinian people enduring a genocide which this government is directly participating in. And so the fight continues. We are all Palestine Action.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be
And
free.
from the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
Make some noise for Zara Sultana MP. Our next speaker is another MP who just voted against the prescription charge. He's the independent MP for Birmingham Perry Bar. Please give a warm welcome to Ayub Khan MP.
Disinformation, misinformation, and conflation of the high order is what people are saying happens in this parliament, and it's a disgrace. This prescription of calling Palestinian Action a terrorist organization, clumping it together with real terrorists, It's a shame on British democracy. And it is shocking, absolutely shocking, that the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, 21 years ago, stood at Bristol Crown Court defending individuals which were charged and which had done precisely what the Palestinian Authority members had done. And 21 years forward, he is asking for the very same type of people to be prescribed as terrorists. How dare he! But you know, the tide is changing. There is a tsunami which is occurring, and you see it in the New York primaries, where the real people see the truth, see the genocide, see the smoke screen. When the illegal attack had taken place on Iran, it was a smoke screen. They know full well that there were no nuclear bombs there. But they did it anyway. And behind the scenes, they were killing innocent men, women, and children. But know this, that history will not forget, nor will it forgive. For those that feel that their political careers are more important than innocent lives. And what we see in types of MPs that will shy away from the truth, that will walk away from atrocities, turn their backs on people which are suffering. But we know them, we see them, we watch them, and it won't be long before this tsunami materializes in the next general election, when people will start to support those individuals which are principled, which speak the truth. And I am confident that that tsunami will change politics in this country for a very long time. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Thank you very much.
Free!
Palestine!
Free! Free!
Palestine!
Free! Free!
Palestine!
Free! Free!
Palestine!
Free! Free!
Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
And from the sea to the river!
Palestine will live forever!
Keir Starmer, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Keir Starmer, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Keir Starmer, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Now our next speaker is here representing the Palestinian Forum in Britain, one of the co-organisers of today's demonstration. Please make some noise for Ammam!
Thank you all for coming out today. The Palestinian Forum in Britain stands in complete solidarity with Palestine Action. In this country, if you see what's going on in Gaza, if you see that this government does nothing to stop it, and your heart breaks for what the people of Gaza are going through, and you take direct action because you're moved so deeply, because you couldn't forgive yourself for standing aside as a genocide goes on, they call you a terrorist. And also in this country, if you take a flight and go to Gaza and participate in the extermination of the Palestinian people, do they call you a terrorist? You're welcomed home with open arms. That's the state. of things in this country. You know, when Bob Dylan the other day chanted death to the IDF, the political and media establishment gave wall-to-wall coverage. I couldn't get enough of it. Yeah? But when it's revealed that Israeli soldiers are mowing down Palestinians for sport as they search for food while they are starving, is there wall-to-wall coverage? Radio silence. Shame. 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 Do you get it now?
Yes.
Do you get it now? This country, the United Kingdom's government, is not simply a cowardly bystander. This government and every single UK government since 1917 has been in direct and explicit opposition to justice for the Palestinian people. This latest attack on Palestine Action is just another step, another move by the establishment to silence us, not just as an attack on our freedom of speech, but also an attack on our freedom of thought. They want us to turn a blind eye. They want us to go about our daily day. They want us to go about watch our Netflix, you know, eat our Just Eat or Uber Eats, and forget about what this country is doing in Palestine. And this government, in their stupidity, think that by clamping down on Palestine Action, they will silence us. They are mistaken! Not only will we not be silent, we will go stronger! We will grow more steadfast! We will go bolder! And we will continue raising our voices until from the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Thank you.
The people united!
We'll never be defeated!
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 And in our thousands, in our millions!
We are all
In
Palestinians!
our thousands, in our millions!
We are all Palestinians!
We are all!
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 Palestinians!
Our next speaker of today's demonstration is a British Palestinian filmmaker and Palestine Action activist. Please give the warmest welcome to Saeed Taji Fakouri.
Thank you. I'm a little sick, so I apologize my voice is not as strong as I would have liked. But just seeing this many people here today fills my heart with an incredible joy. A joy that's far too rare these days. In days of incredible darkness, in some of the worst days of my life, and some of the worst days for Palestinians since the Nakba of 1948. Not only watching the genocide continue, and watching this government participate in the genocide, but also watching this country descend into the darkness of an authoritarian abyss. I feel these days like the world is upside down. when people calling for the end of a genocide are more criminal than the people committing the genocide itself, when journalists consistently defend a regime that has targeted and massacred 250, more than 250 of their colleagues, when a small group of dedicated activists are willing to go to prison to stop a genocide, and they're called terrorists by the same government carrying out the genocide, I feel like the world is upside down. Nothing makes sense anymore except one value that I hold on to, and that is the knowledge that we're on the right side of history. This demonstration is not just about Palestine action. Because just like the Palestinian people in Gaza are a testing ground for new weapons, the Palestinian movement in this country is a testing ground for the suppression of our rights and for the demolition of the basic principles of democracy in this country. This legislation, so says the Home Secretary, will only target Palestine action. She wants you to believe that it will have no effect on the Palestinian movement in general, but we know that's a lie. We know they're creating a climate of fear, a chilling effect in which everyone will be terrified to show their support for Palestine. It will be a chilling effect on journalists, on academics, on all other campaigners who are now terrified that they too may be associated with terrorism legislation, and who are terrified, and rightly so, that they too might be next. Because this will not end with Palestine action. Palestine action is the beginning, the first layer of oppression, and it will continue. And this is what terrifies me the most. Not only that the movement of Palestine action is being targeted itself, but that the very principle of solidarity with Palestine is being criminalized. That the very concept of liberation for the Palestinian people is being criminalized. That the very foundations of British democracy, the right to dissent against our government, is being torn apart and criminalized. And I never expected the state to go this far. Perhaps I was naive. Let me be clear, I never expected the state to like me. I never expected the state to like Palestine action. But I do expect them to at least follow the principles of their own laws, not throw them out the window in order to further their agenda of suppressing and criminalizing any form of solidarity with the Palestinian people. I never expected them to misuse terrorism legislation to such an extent, legislation already criticized by the United Nations for being so broad that Palestine action activists already arrested were on par with those disappeared, in the words of the UN. This entire process of prescription should terrify everyone, not only for what it means for Palestine action, but what it means for the process, for due process, for your rights in every aspect of your life in this country. Because this process has been mired from the beginning, drenched in corruption. The Israeli embassy secretly meeting with the Crown Prosecution Service. People from Elbit secretly meeting with the government. All of them lobbying for the criminalization of Palestine action. All of them lobbying for prescription.
Keep moving.
The rule of law is being dismantled right beneath our feet. And that, for me, is what we should be most terrified about. Now, many people who support Palestine action will say that we're part of a long tradition of civil disobedience and direct action in this country. As was mentioned before, the suffragettes, Battle of Cable Street, Greenham Common. And they're right in this. They're right. But those movements are not the movements that inspire me. I'm inspired instead by the long legacy of Palestinian resistance itself. I'm inspired by my grandfather, who himself was arrested and imprisoned for a year and 8 months by the British state, imprisoned in a British prison in Palestine before the state of Israel was even established, because the Palestinian demand for liberation and the Palestinian demand for dignity predates even the state of their oppressor itself, and it will live on into eternity. Into eternity. And from this perspective, I hope we can all see that Palestine Action is not merely a spontaneous British movement, but it is inheriting a proud legacy of Palestinian resilience for generations. And it's created in this country a revolutionary moment, and it's proved two things. One is that the people are tired of watching a genocide committed in our name, committed by our governments, and having no chance to stop it. And two, that the people are no longer afraid of the state's threats against them. No matter the outcome of this process, no matter what happens from today, I want everyone here to know that you've built a revolutionary moment. You are participating in a revolutionary era, and that can never be undone. And no matter what happens after today, I want everyone here to know that for the rest of your lives, you can hold your heads up high, knowing that you stood shoulder to shoulder with the Palestinian people in their greatest hour of need. That should be a source of inspiration, and that should be a source of pride for all of you. And I want you to know also that the Palestinian people recognize that sacrifice and they thank you for it. Now you seem like a rowdy bunch. I'm going to end with another chant. This is also a new one, but I'm not doing a Bob Dylan here. Okay? I know what the organizers of the demo are having a heart attack now. No. You may know that I'm also half Egyptian and half Palestinian. And you may know also that the best writers of chants in the world are the Egyptians. And you may know that the best Egyptian writers of chants are the Journalist Syndicate of Egypt. And about a year ago, they wrote a beautiful one that I've never really found the opportunity to share. I never really thought that it was applicable. But I think today, with this vote going through, it applies. I think we have some Arabic speakers here, is that right? Okay, I'll start with the Arabic version. The other beautiful thing about this chant is that it works perfectly in both Arabic and in English. I'll try and do it loud, but my voice is not great these days. It goes like this. غزة احنا آسفين احنا كمان محتلين غزة احنا آسفين احنا كمان محتلين. Now in English. Gaza, we apologize. Gaza, we apologize. We are also occupied. We are also occupied. Gaza, we apologize. Gaza, we apologize. We are also occupied. We are also occupied. Thank you very much. I'll see you the next time. I hope to see you.
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians.
And across the world, in our millions, in our billions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our millions, in our billions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our millions, in our billions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our millions, in our billions.
We are all Palestinians.
Our next speaker is here representing the Palestinian Youth Movement, which recently released a report exposing the scale of British arms sales to Israel. Please give a very warm welcome to Yara Dabas. Free, free,
Palestine!
free.
Palestine!
Over the past week, we have seen masses of people in Britain stand with Palestine Action amidst the news of this potential proscription. Students, workers, families, communities, journalists, artists, lawyers, grassroots groups have all come out to show that Palestine Action is not a fringe organisation as the government is trying to make them out to be. It's ordinary people in the British public that have displayed mass public support for Palestine Action and deep opposition to the government's attempts to extinguish them. We know that the government is using its prescription powers as an attempt to strike fear in the movement for Palestine in Britain. But are we scared? No! I can't hear you. Are we scared? No! What this has shown is that it's the Labour government that is really scared. They're afraid of what Palestine Action exposes about them, that Britain is a key partner in Israel's genocide, a genocide that has killed hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza, has wiped out the majority of the civil infrastructure in Gaza, and is waging a starvation campaign. Shame. The Labour government has blood on its hands and they know it. Their threatened proscription of Palestine Action is an attempt to keep attention away from Britain's role in the most violent genocide we've seen in modern history and to demonise those who are trying to put a stop to it. Palestine Action have expressed time and time again that their work intends to show solidarity with the Palestinian people by protecting them from further violence caused by these arms companies. They have made it their mission to disrupt Israel's ability to carry out genocide by striking directly at the heart of the imperialist war machine, and for that they are being punished. But let's give it up for these actions. The government can see that the movement for Palestine in Britain is strong, it is mass, and it's creating an impact. States intervene to prevent movements that are working. The Palestine movement in Britain is making historical strides in confronting Zionism at home. From shutting down a number of arms factories, taking to the streets in our millions, students are targeting university complicity, research exposing the continued arms exports to Israel, the launching of local divestment and arms embargo campaigns. We, as the Palestine movement in Britain, have been taking it upon ourselves to intervene, which is exactly what the state should be doing. The government wouldn't be wasting their time on any of this if we weren't winning. The majority of people in Britain oppose genocide and want to see Britain suspend its continued arms exports to Israel. So what we are doing is acting in the public's interest by organising to enforce a people's arms embargo from below. This will go down in history. Not only are our actions historic, so are the alliances that we are forming. Over the past 20 months, we have built coalitions, strengthened our partnerships, and we've seen camaraderie bloom in meetings and on the streets. Now more than ever, building and maintaining unity is a crucial responsibility for us all. The government is threatening the proscription because they want to fragment us, to demobilise us, and to demoralise us. So we need to get organised, we need to unite, and we need to strengthen our conviction in the face of this repression. It's a known tactic of the coloniser to try to keep us apart, to turn us against one another, and to try to get us to give up on our struggle. We cannot afford to fall into this trap, and we owe it to the people of Gaza to renew our commitment to the struggle, no matter the hits that our movement takes. We are all part of the Palestine liberation movement. An attack on one of us is an attack on us all. The Palestine liberation movement teaches us that unity and organisation is what protects our movement.
This protects us from our enemies and from those that want to exploit our differences. But in fact, our differences are what make us stronger. Different tactics, different campaigns, different pressure points are what allow us to target multiple choke points in the Zionist imperialist project, and that keeps our enemies on their toes. So regardless of what the state tries to do, we cannot be deterred, we cannot be intimidated, and we have a responsibility to carry forward the struggle as our people have done for the past 100 years. We have to remind ourselves what is at the core of all of this. Resistance in service of the struggle for liberation. We will commit to a lifetime of struggle until victory, until freedom, and until the total liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea. Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the sea to the river!
Palestine will live forever!
From the sea to the river!
Palestine will live forever!
The people united!
We'll never be defeated!
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 1,
All people!
2,
We won't be silent!
3,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1,
We are the people!
2,
We won't be silent!
3,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1,
We are the people!
2,
We won't be silent!
3,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1,
We are the people!
2,
We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
And our next speaker is here representing another of the co-organisers of today's demonstration. Please make some noise for Zaid Al-Takriti from the Muslim Association of Britain.
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Brothers, sisters, friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you all. We gather today in solidarity with Palestine Action, knowing full well that this is an attack upon us all. This is about a state that fears the people more than it fears injustice. We are here because the state is attempting to ban a protest movement, not because of a fear against public safety, but because it poses a threat to the status quo, because it threatens to unmask Britain's role in the genocide. Palestine Action has done what our government should have done a long time ago. They are stopping the machinery that enables war crimes. While Israel reduces Gaza to ash, while 55,000 Palestinians and more have been decimated, murdered, while schools, hospitals, aid centres have been flattened, while Palestinians have been burnt alive in their tents, the UK government continues to arm and abet. Shame! It continues to send arms, it continues to send spy planes, and it continues to host Israeli officials. It provides diplomatic cover. Shame!
Shame!
And when ordinary people rise to stop it, when they chain themselves to factories, spray blood-red paint across arms companies, or dare to name El-Bith for what it is, a cog in the killing machine, the government responds with panic. And so we must ask, what kind of government are we willing to accept? One that protects arms dealers and prosecutes those who try to stop them? One that treats opposition to genocide as terrorism and weapon sales as business as usual? To them we say, not in our name. They say that Palestine Action are a threat,
But to who? To whom is it a threat when people expose war crimes? When they break windows to shatter silence? It is a threat to the companies profiting from Palestinian death. It is a threat to politicians who fear accountability. It is a threat to a government that knows the British public is against them. People in this country want a ceasefire. The people want arms exports suspended. The people can see through the moral rot at the heart of British foreign policy. The fact that the vandalization and destruction of machines of war is now being called terrorism just goes to show how low our government has stooped. From the civil disruption of the suffragettes on these shores, to the struggle of the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, to the continued resistance of our dear Palestinian comrades, history always vindicates those who choose justice over law and truth over comfort. Now make no mistake, this is not just about Palestine Action. This is about all of us, about the right to act, to feel, to stand up. If we let them silence Palestine Action, we will all feel the consequences. Because protest does not begin and end with one group. It is a living, breathing force in any democracy. Our right to protest is something that should be considered sacred, inviolable. Our right to look at the actions of our government and call them out is something that should never be infringed upon. Our right to be obstacles in the way of our government committing acts of genocide is the furthest thing from terrorism. And every single one of us stood here today know that history will look very kindly upon Palestine Action. There will come a day because of the shamelessness of those in our government where they will pretend that they were never a part of the genocide. They will claim that they were on the streets with us. Because that is what governments like ours have always done. But we will remember. We will remember who stood with us here today. And we are not here just for this moment. We are here for what comes after. For the moment that this movement will outlast this crackdown. For the factories that will be shut down and abolished. For the weapons that will never be fired. For the free Palestine that will rise from the rubble. And so, I say this in the words of Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitta. It is your world to fight for. It is your tomorrow to make. Our march to freedom and justice continues and will not be slowed. The bravery of all those in this beautiful coalition should only be strengthened. We must continue to stand firm and keep our voices loud. This does not stop until from the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zaid. Our next speaker is one of the most outspoken voices in Parliament against Israel's genocide in Gaza. She is a Member of Parliament for Poplar and Limehouse. Please give a very warm welcome to Oksana Begum. Today I voted against prescribing Palestine Action. Because the ongoing crackdown on the right to protest is a threat to us all. I come from East London, where we have seen the militant suffragettes, the Poplar rate strike, the Battle of Cable Street and the Battle of Brick Lane, all now
protest group flies in the face of our long history in the UK of protest and dissent. What's more, prescribing Palestine action while continuing to send arms to a state that is committing the gravest acts against humanity in Gaza is not just unjustifiable, it is absolutely chilling. And there is no doubt about it, no doubt of the political nature of this unprecedented attack on civil liberties by a state whose ally is committing genocide as I speak. Shame! Just today there are reports that an Israeli airstrike has killed one of Gaza's most senior doctors along with his family members. Another catastrophic loss to the already decimated healthcare system. But we will never stop. We will never stop asking whether UK-made weapons were involved in this or in the killing of hungry people queuing up in aid queues. We will never ever stop speaking out against the use of arms or the use of technologies being sent to Israel to kill children or to bomb refugee camps. And I want to be clear, we will never ever stop opposing genocide. Free, free! Free, free!
Palestine!
Solidarity!
Make some noise for Charlie Bacon! Free, free!
Palestine!
Now our next speaker is here representing over 70,000 transport workers. Please give a very warm welcome to the Assistant General Secretary of the RMT, Darren Ireland!
What we have witnessed today is yet another scandal by the government. A direct attack on our freedom and civil liberties. We should never, ever back down to the attacks on our freedoms. Freedoms that have been fought for over 200 years. The government today, except 26 MPs, have prescribed Palestine action. That is a scandal. Painting warplanes should not be terrorism. Yet the Home Secretary has used a spray painting of warplanes, which is an act of peace in itself, to stop the bombing of innocent civilians in Palestine by the genocide that's been committed out there. We should condemn the decision that's been undertaken by the government today. And instead of attacking our freedoms, the government should be doing all it can to fulfill its obligations under international law to prevent genocide. Yet this government is criminalising people who demand justice for Palestinians. At a time when Israel is continuing its relentless bombing campaign against the people of Gaza, daily massacres of starving people. It's an absolute scandal. We stand here today, and on the many demonstrations that have gone around this country for a long time, we'll be on the right side of history. The politicians in Parliament who vote to prescribe direct action from activists who actually want peace should be outrightly condemned. Solidarity, free, free Palestine.
On January the 18th, our next speaker was violently arrested and charged for peacefully protesting against genocide. His trial begins in the City of London Magistrates Court on Monday the 9th of July. So please be there from 9 a.m. to support him. And please give a very warm welcome to the Vice Chair of Stop the War Coalition, Chris Nynan.
Thanks very much, and greetings from the Stop the War Coalition. We stand with Palestine Action and all of you here today. The use of the rhetoric of terrorism and terrorism legislation against people trying to stop a war is absurd, it's ludicrous, but it's also deeply, deeply sinister. And you know why they're doing it? They are doing it to try and take this movement apart. They're doing it to try to divide us. And we have one message for them today. We will not be divided. We stand united. We stand focused. And we will continue to campaign until we have won. The attacks on Palestine Action, the attacks on NECAP, the attacks on Bob Villan mark an escalation in a campaign against the Palestine movement that started or was relaunched with a vengeance in October 2023. They have tried to stop us marching. They have arrested people for wearing the wrong T-shirt or holding the wrong placard. They have raided journalists' homes in the early hours of the morning and taken their laptops. They have held the Filton 18 on demand, on remand for months. They have arrested myself and Ben Jamal on the 18th of January and scores of others for peacefully protesting. And we have heard today that they have announced new charges against two other leaders of the movement, Sophie Bolt from CND and Alex Kenny from the Stop the War Coalition. And they have lied and lied and lied about us. They've created an Alice in Wonderland reality in which people marching and protesting against the systematic killing of children, against the flattening of hospitals, against the assassination of people starving, are called hate marchers by people who are organising the genocide. The truth is the opposite, as we all know. This movement is made up of those people in society most outraged by the violence and oppression being meted out against the whole people. As such, this movement brings together the very best of humanity. The only good news is that no one is buying their lies. They are resorting to repression because they are losing the argument. The majority of society in Britain sympathise with the Palestinians and are demanding an end to our government's collusion. They are demanding an end to our government's arms sales to Israel. That is the fact that they cannot change. This is to intimidate us, this is to divide us, this is to threaten us, but it is too late. We will not be intimidated, we will not be silenced. Their repression is only spreading the resistance. We know from our history that rights and freedoms are not handed down to us. They have always been won by these kind of mass movements, and we are going to stay in the streets to defend them. The vote today in Parliament was shameful and disgraceful. At the same time, we should take heart from the fact that at the very same moment when this government is verbally being forced to retreat on the question of Palestine, they have been defeated over their attacks on disabled people. We should take heart from the fact that millions of people are starting to say, why are they spending money arming Israel? Why are they buying new bombers? Why are they increasing defence spending when they can't deliver basic necessities?